Hello everybody and welcome to Vlogmas Day 2. So for today's video I'm going to do a little hair and makeup tutorial for a Christmassy kind of glam look. I actually did one of these a couple of years ago, so I'll leave a link to that as well because I've changed my curling method slightly for my hair, but some people find it easier to do it the way that I did it the first time, so I'll leave that below in case you want to watch that one instead or as well, because I'll be doing things slightly differently, so then you can kind of watch both and see what works best for you. So I'm going to start with my hair. I am still going to curl my hair, but I'm going to use a different curling tool. So I'm going to be using this curling tool. I can't actually remember the name of it right now, so I will find out and then write it on the screen somewhere here. But obviously this isn't plugged in right now. It's a Babyliss tool, and you press this button here and it opens up sort of like a straightener. In the middle you've got like the ceramic plates like you would with a straightener, and then it's rounded on the outside, and this actually blows cold air out, which means that your hair gets heated and cooled at the same time, which actually helps the curls to stay in longer, which is really clever. I find this much easier and much faster and much less tiring than using a curling wand, but if you prefer to use a curling wand then that's what I used last time, so again I'll leave that linked in case you want to watch that one instead. So yeah, I'm going to plug this in and then get started. So before I actually start curling my hair, I'm just going to brush through it and then section it. So to section my hair, I'm just picking up kind of everything above my ears, all the way back. And then just kind of twisting that up into a bun and tying it up with a scrunchie. And then just bringing the hair that I have left round to the front, and I'm just going to give this another little brush. So when I turn this on, it comes on with these lights, and then I'm just going to press and hold the power button like that, and I like it to be on the medium heat setting, so I just need to wait for this to stop flashing and also this green light to stop flashing. Just a quick warning, this is quite a noisy tool because it blows the cold air out, so that's just something to bear in mind if you are particularly sensitive to sound. It's not overly loud, but it is, I'd say, quieter than a hairdryer, but still kind of loud-ish. So I'm just going to wait for this to heat up. So this is now heated up. As you can hear, it's now making a noise, so I'm going to swap to voiceover Becca so that you can actually hear me properly. So yeah, I'm going to start curling my hair now. So I'm going to show you two different ways of curling your hair. The first is to obviously pick up a section of hair and just place that inside the styler. Then turn the tool all the way around, so 360 degrees, then duck it out and forwards, then twist again, duck it out and forwards, twist again, duck it out and forwards, and just continue with that all the way down the hair. And this will create, it will look really super tight to begin with, but don't worry, we'll loosen it up later. And then you just release it when you get to the end, and that's the curl done. Then for the second method, again, you're going to pick up a piece of hair, basically whatever size piece you want, Start exactly the same way, so twisting the styler 360 degrees, but this time you're going to hold it really tightly shut at the top and then just slide it all the way down the hair, making sure that the hair stays on those ceramic plates the whole time. And that will create kind of your more classic ringlet type curl. With the first method, once that curl has completely cooled, what you can do is run your fingers through it to break it up a bit. And as you can see, this will cause the curl to drop into more of a loose curl kind of wave. So you can see the difference between the two of them just there. The method that I'm going to use today is the first one, so twisting the hair all the way around and then ducking the styler out and forwards. This definitely takes a bit of practice. I would definitely suggest practicing with a cold styler first, so don't plug it in or don't turn it on, just so that you can get used to doing that motion without worrying about burning your hair or doing any damage to your hair, and you can take your time with it and then turn it on once you're comfortable with that. And yes, I'm just going to carry on with this method over my entire head. So now that I've finished curling that bottom layer, I'm going to move all of that hair to the back and take my scrunchie out and just let down hair for the next layer. How many layers you do will depend probably on how thick your hair is. I tend to do about 4 layers in total, but that's entirely up to you. And again, with the sections of hair that you take to put into the curling tool, it's entirely up to you how big those sections are. I tend to take quite big sections, so the curls are a bit bigger. Obviously, the smaller the sections are, the tighter the curls will be. So sometimes when I'm dropping down my next layer of hair, I end up dropping some of the straight bits and they get kind of caught up in the curls. So what you want to do in that case is try as best as you can to pick up as much of the straight hair as possible, probably using a mirror. And then what you can do is bring your curls back round to the front so that it's a bit easier to spot the straight bits, and then just pick them up and add them to your next section for curling. Once I have that layer all ready, I'm just going to split it in half and bring everything round to the front so that I can see it better, and then I'm just going to carry on curling it exactly the same way. So that is my hair completely curled. As you can see, it's currently very, very, very curly and quite kind of ringlety. I'm actually going to leave it like this for now. You want to make sure that your hair is completely cool before you kind of do anything with it. My hair is pretty much cool because obviously I used the tool that blows the cold air out. But before I actually kind of loosen these curls properly, I'm actually going to put my hair into a half ponytail for today's look. So it's really easy to do. Of course, you're going to need a hairband, and I'm just going to push all my hair to the back and just kind of go from just above my ears, kind of in an upwards motion, to kind of the crown of my head. And then just kind of separating the hair that's kind of just trying to cling on a little bit. And then I'm just going to pull out some bits around my face. And then I'm just going to use a hairbrush just to smooth the top a bit. And then when I'm happy with where my ponytail is sitting and how everything looks, I'm just going to use my hairband to secure it in place. Like that. And then just because it's Christmas, to add a little something extra, I've got this kind of burgundy velvety ribbon, which I'm going to tie around the hairband in a bow. You can get clips that are in a bow shape, or you can get clips that kind of come ready done with this kind of bow with the bits hanging off as well. So I'll leave some links in the description for those if you find that easier than actually tying a bow. So that is the hair done for now. Obviously it's still quite curly, kind of quite ringlety, but that is going to drop. So I'm just going to move on to makeup, and then we will kind of reassess the hair after that. So as you can see, I've just clipped my fringe up out the way, and I'm just going to tuck this hair behind my ear so that I'm not going to get any hair on my face. And yeah, I'm ready to start my makeup. So first thing that I'm going to do is prep the skin. I'm using this Glossy Box Skincare 3-in-1 moisturiser. And I'm just going to pop that all over the face. Like that, and I'm just going to give that a couple of minutes to kind of sink into the skin. And then I'm also going to use this No. 7 Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced Eye Cream just to prep the skin around my eyes. And then just to give the skin a little bit of an extra glow, and also to make it a little bit kind of sticky to put the makeup on, I'm going to spray a little bit of my Iconic London Prep Set Glow spray. Oops. Give it a shake. It's really pretty and it smells amazing. So just going to spray that all over my face. And again, I'm just going to give that a minute to sink in. At the moment I'm looking very shiny, but it will kind of settle into the skin. And while that's sinking in, I'm just going to go in, wash my hands because they're all covered in moisturiser and stuff. I also put some Nivea lip balm on my lips to prep that as well. Okay, so now that my skin is all prepped, I'm ready to go in with my foundation. So I'm going to be using the Max Factor Facefinity All Day Flawless 3-in-1 foundation in the shade Porcelain, which is C30. And I'm just going to pop a couple of pumps of this on the back of my hand and then dot it over my face. And then I'm going to use this Real Techniques Beauty Blender to blend this in, and I have wet this just under the tap, and yeah. So I'm now going to move on to concealer, and I'm using the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser Multi-Use Concealer in the shade 0. It's this one. And I'm just going to put that under my eyes and on my forehead, on my nose and on my chin, and basically just anywhere else that I feel like I need a little bit of extra coverage. And then I'm just going to blend all of this in with this little Real Techniques beauty blender, which again I've just wet under the tap. So that is kind of my base done. So next I'm going to use this Barry M Flawless Chisel Cheeks Contour Cream contour, and I'm just going to do a tiny little bit just underneath my cheekbones. And I'm just going to blend that in using the Real Techniques contour brush. Okay, and then for blush I'm using the Iconic London Sheer Blush in the shade Rose Riot. And what I do with this is I just pop a little bit on my finger, and then I just do a couple of dots on each cheek like that, and then I use the Iconic London Beauty Blender just to blend that in. I kind of blend it like over my nose a little bit as well. Just like that, just gives a little bit of colour. And then for highlight I am using this brand, which I do not know how to pronounce, but it's the Beyond Liquid Highlighter OMG. It's just this really teeny tiny little one here. And again, I'm just going to pop that on my finger and then dot it. I just dot that like up the cheekbone, kind of up into like the temple area, and then I also do just a tiny little dot underneath each eyebrow and blend that in with this beauty blender. And then, so that's like my face done. So next I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I'm using the Profusion Cosmetics Brow Palette, and I'm using the shade Taupe or Taupe, I don't know how to pronounce it, and I'm just using this angled brush, just picking up a little bit of powder and then just running that through the brow. I don't really like to do too much with my brows, I just like to fill them in a little bit. Just like that. And then moving on to my eyes, I'm actually not going to do any eyeshadow today, but if you did want to see kind of this look with some Christmassy eyeshadow, then again, I showed that in my previous video like this one, so you can check that one out. But today I am just going to be using my favourite thing to use at Christmas, which is this silver glittery eyeliner. This is the Collection Glam Crystals Dazzling Gel Liner. So I'm just going to wait for this eye to dry, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. Obviously, if you do kind of get a little bit of the eyeliner up here, then you can just wipe it off with a makeup wipe and just go over it with some concealer. But I think that's pretty much dry now, so I'm going to move on to my lashes. I'm just going to curl them using these eyelash curlers here. And then I'm going to use this mascara. It's from the Body Shop. It's Happy Go Lash mascara. I have accidentally got a little bit of mascara on my face here, so I'm just going to again wipe that off with a makeup wipe and then just go over it with some concealer. So finally, moving on to lips, I'm going to be using a red shade from this pack here, and I'm going to be using shade number 10, which is this really gorgeous dark red. So that is my makeup completely done, so all that's left to do now is just take this clip out of my fringe. As you can see, this has now kind of dropped a bit into more of a kind of wavy curl, which is exactly what I wanted, so I don't need to do anything else with this. If your hair is still looking kind of quite tight or tighter than you'd like it, you can just kind of run your fingers through it or brush through it just to loosen it up a bit. But yeah, that's this look done. So I really hope that you enjoyed that video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you again very soon with another video.